Okay, who broke the ring? I refuse to believe it was Finn Bálor. Doesn't look like the fattest guy on the roster. What the hell happened? Was the Big Show sitting on the other apron? Did they let Sin Cara and Eva Marie to build the ring? Where do I put this? Oh, you don't need that. Once I helped WWE to build the ring and it worked just fine without it. Welcome back to the channel, my name is The Great One, that is my legal name, and make sure to click that like button to grow your Penisevich to the moon. Now, I think I did enjoy the pay-per-view for the most part. I think it was one of these wrestling shows or WWE shows where the card doesn't look that exciting, but matches deliver, and that's exactly what we got. But the problem is that even though the matches were good, I don't think it was really that memorable. To be fair, having an Extreme Rules pay-per-view without at least 2 Extreme Rules matches is almost like having Monday Night Raw without a 6-man tag team match. It felt so weird to say this. And the ring breaking... I know WWE are going to do an explanation, and I pretty much have an idea of what happened right here. I'm not sure if I liked it. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Actually, in about 8 minutes. But you get the point. If you missed the kickoff show, you didn't miss much. We saw Liv Morgan versus Carmella, but let's be honest right here. Do you honestly care? Liv Morgan picked up the W. Let's move on to the main show. Extreme Rules pay-per-view kicked off. Well, it kicked off with Monday Night Raw. The New Day versus Bobby Lashley, Omos, and AJ Styles. I don't know why it wasn't announced. I have no idea, honestly. Don't ask me. Don't look at me. I have no idea. This felt depressing. I'm not the biggest fan of Raw. This felt like watching Monday Night Raw with a different lighting. It felt like watching Raw with a Shrek cum filter. Yeah, what's up with WWE's obsession with these colors? It felt like I'm watching WWE with Matt Riddle. And since it was a regular Monday Night Raw 6-man tag team match, it felt like I was falling asleep. I know many people will say, well, the match was actually entertaining. We saw a bunch of interesting spots and moves. It was quick. I honestly don't care about that kind of stuff. It was unimportant. There's no build. The match wasn't even announced. And of course, the New Day won the match. After the match, Bobby Lashley is angry. He wants a title shot, and Big E gives Bobby Lashley a championship match on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Or today. I'm actually recording this on a Monday. So yeah, that was actually the only reason we saw this match. Just to have a WWE champion on the show. Was it necessary though? I don't think so. And the match was long. The match was really long. So how about this? Instead of having a WWE championship on Raw, you could have actually used that time to have a championship match on a pay-per-view. Genius. We saw the SmackDown Tag Team Championships match, the Usos versus the Street Profits. Now, if I'm being honest, I did not care about this match. For me, it was really difficult to get invested into it, but it picked up and it was exactly as you would imagine this match. 4 of the most athletic WWE superstars right now. It was your typical Usos match, just a lot of fun, nothing too different, but I'm not saying it was boring. And of course, the Usos retained the championships as expected. These are 2 of the best WWE tag teams we have right now, and it kind of feels like this feud needed a lot more time. For me, it just doesn't feel personal enough when all of these brawls, interactions between the Street Profits and the Usos are happening just because of Roman Reigns. We saw Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss, and this is where things got weird. Now, I'm not gonna shit on the match. I think it was alright. Nothing memorable, but nothing to really complain about. I'm just being negative towards this pay-per-view because, you know, it was really hard to get invested into anything, in my opinion. And this build was absolute dog shit. Charlotte threw the doll at Bliss, big boot, natural selection, and she wins the match, but that wasn't enough. She ripped Lily into several pieces. She destroyed Lily. She killed Lily. Alexa Bliss goes on a tantrum, screams at the camera. She's angry. Come on. I'm not gonna say it. I'm... Aw, don't worry, Alexa. WWE have plenty of other interesting toys. How about a wrestler who sweats? I bet you would like it. So yeah, that was that. What the hell was leaking out of Alexa's mouth? Was she that angry? She was spitting everywhere. It's a family show, goddammit. So this rivalry is probably going to continue, which is something I really don't want to see. I've said this many times, I just can't stand this version of Alexa Bliss, and I just hope it ends. And it kinda gives me a slight drop of hope that Charlotte Flair ended this gimmick by destroying Lily. But there's also a big chance that it will basically just amp up this gimmick even more. She dresses like a child now, she might start dressing like a baby. We saw the United States Championship match, Damian Priest versus Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy, which might be the match of the night. I really enjoyed this one. This one picked up really fast. And yes, we did see a bodge here and there from Jeff Hardy. I'm not sure what happened right here. It happened as well during a Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy match, and it's possibly just because of Damian Priest's height. He a big boy. This was another example of why we need more triple threat matches. Sheamus mocking Jeff Hardy was pretty funny, and my favorite spot of the match was Jeff Hardy hitting both of his opponents with Swanton Bomb out of nowhere. So at the end of the day, even though this wasn't an Extreme Rules match, I'm gonna say this was probably my favorite match of the night. Surprisingly, Jeff Hardy did not get pinned. We saw a bro kick, but Damian Priest does a roll-up and wins the match, retains the United States Championship. After the match, we saw mutual respect between Damian Priest and Jeff Hardy. Basically, WWE showing us that we love Jeff Hardy. He ain't gonna win anytime soon. Probably might not win at all now. We'll see, we'll think about it. But we love him. Deep down inside. Somewhere in our hearts. So yeah, this was my favorite match of the night. And I'm saying this because while I did enjoy the Extreme Rules match between Finn Bálor and Roman Reigns, it was a lot, and not in a very good way. We saw the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. So this was interesting because, you know, I was wondering if Becky Lynch can still go, and of course she can. It feels like she just never left. This was a very entertaining match. I did not expect this to be that good. And the whole match I was wondering, you know, I want to see Sasha Banks versus Becky versus Bianca. I hope it's gonna happen at a big pay-per-view. And as you guys know, I'm a wrestling guru, a professional wrestling reviewer. It's like I think and WWE act. Then again, it's not a compliment to me at all. These ain't my thoughts, man. These ain't my thoughts. So it almost seemed like Bianca Belair was about to win the match. She was about to hit her finisher, but we see Sasha Banks out of nowhere attacking Bianca Belair. The match ends in a disqualification. Okay, first of all, you just ended a major championship match with a DQ during an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Come on. Becky's like, yeah, cool, awesome, great job, I like you. But Sasha Banks doesn't feel the same way. She attacks Becky Lynch as well. The message is clear. She wants the championship back. This is good. This is really, really good. Can't say the same thing about Raw Women's Division, but SmackDown's Women's Division looks... Well, I probably shouldn't say division. They only have like 7 women, right? I guess the compliment that I can give this particular rivalry, this championship match we are about to get, looks really, really promising. And the Universal Championship match, Extreme Rules match between Roman Reigns and Demon Bálor. So yeah, you guys know, for the most part, I don't like WWE's overproduction, all the screens, 3D graphics. I don't like this. I don't like this piece of shit. I'm not trying to insult it, that's exactly what it is. It's just a giant piece of shit. This looked okay. It's a supernatural gimmick in a way, and most importantly, it looks really, really good. Sometimes less is more, so instead of using all these graphics for guys like Apollo, Reigns, and for basically everyone, just save this kind of stuff for people like Finn Bálor. It sucks we don't have Sin Cara anymore. Imagine Sin Cara making his entrance and the 3D graphics are basically glitching, or they're showing Roman Reigns' graphics. That would be hilarious. All I gotta say, classic WWE right here. The match itself, what happened during this match, was really good. One of the best Extreme Rules pay-per-view matches we have ever seen, and one of the best Roman Reigns' matches since his Universal Championship title win. Obviously, I absolutely love this match. Maybe for an only Extreme Rules match of the pay-per-view, it wasn't extreme enough in my opinion, but maybe that's nitpicking. At the end of the day, I absolutely love this match, and we did get a few extreme spots. Probably the best spot was Finn Bálor jumping while they were fighting, outside of the ring in the crowd. For me, the highlight, however, was Roman Reigns putting on a mask before going to the crowd. I'm not sure why are people making this into some kind of a heel move. The man is being cautious. Before the weird-ass finish, everything was going just right. Finn Bálor was about to win the match with a coup de grace, but the Usos interfered. They started brawling with Finn Bálor. Bálor fights back. We saw a powerbomb to Jey Uso, and Reigns hits spear out of nowhere through the ringside barricade. That was great. What's gonna happen next? We hear the heartbeat, the red lighting, and every time we get that, my man is shaking. You know these shakes when you're growing up? Didn't get a lot of these. I'm only 5'7" and a half. But all of you big boys probably get it. He gets up, he's not hurt anymore. He's a demon. And sometimes we heard the theme song playing, sometimes we didn't. I'm not sure what was that all about. It's like, that's cool, but kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about this. Sure, it was pretty goofy, I gotta admit. I think it was just a bit too much. I don't mind, him getting all these powers, I guess. All we needed is the red lighting, the heartbeat, he gets up, and it's all normal. But they started playing his music and it just felt weird. So he goes for the coup de grace and the ropes break. Yeah, he crashes into the canvas, the man is injured, we see a spear, and Roman Reigns wins the match. That was your pay-per-view. What the hell just happened? You could use something like this for the Big Show, for Mark Henry. I know what happened right here. It was Paul Heyman, probably, I'm not sure. I think it was Paul Heyman with a screwdriver. Maybe that's gonna be the explanation. Or maybe it was the weight, the mass of Finn Balor's power, and the ring just couldn't handle it. I just think it was too much. If you're not ready to commit to Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor and you don't want to hurt Finn Balor's credibility, which you already did even before this match, don't do the match. As a matter of fact, you didn't even need to. He was already feuding with Balor when he was wrestling John Cena at a pay-per-view. Now he's feuding with Finn Balor when he's about to face Brock Lesnar in a pay-per-view. Just don't do this. Save Finn Balor for later. But yeah, that was your Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I wouldn't say it was necessarily bad, but just kind of forgettable. The wrestling was good, but this is what people are going to remember. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.